Hi YouTube, Art here again with another Call of Duty audio video, and in today's video we are going to talk about all the audio changes they brought to Rebirth Island in the Season 3 Reloaded update. If you remember in Season 1 when they dropped Urzikstan, the audio was terrible when it first came out, and then there was an update. I think it was actually the mid-season update for Season 1. The audio got way better because they did an occlusion pass, and if you look at the patch notes, I'll show them on the screen here, it seems that they went through and did an occlusion pass on Rebirth Island. Now, in my 12 hours playing, 8 hours on stream, about 4 hours off stream, I had very few issues with audio cues. Of course, there's the random vault jump that you just don't get any audio on, but for the most part, I was hearing everything. So here in a little bit, I'm going to show some samples of some problem areas. For me, it was always the roof of prison and that second floor of prison on the water tower side. I could never hear anything. I avoided that side of the map like the plague because I couldn't hear anything. You'll see in the clips later on, it is fixed. They really cooked. And in a second here, we'll talk about what settings need to be changed. Before we do that, I wanted to take a second and address some bigger issues people are having with the tune and answer some basic questions. First, if you need help with any of this, I know some of you don't make it to the end of the videos. If the 42-minute video is too intimidating, you can book a one-on-one appointment with me. Those links will be down below in the description. It's a Calendly link. You can click that, pick from a time in your time zone, and we can meet one-on-one. I'll remote into your PC, and I will set all of this up for you. That being said, these guides will continue to be free. I am not going to paywall any of this content, and I don't give special settings to streamers outside of what's available on the YouTube. There is one tune, and it is the tune that's on the YouTube. My appointments are only there to help y'all set them up. The next question I see all the time is, I messed everything up. How do I uninstall and start again? The easiest thing to do is to hit your Windows key, search for add or remove programs. This window will pop up and you can sort by date installed. But if you needed a hand and you wanted to know what to uninstall, you need to uninstall Equalizer APO. That will take Hisuvi with it because Equalizer APO has Hisuvi installed inside of it. You need to uninstall Replugs. You need to uninstall Voice Meter, and you need to uninstall ASIO Bridge and Hi-Fi Cable. You can search for those as I showed here on this screen. People also ask, what about that thing we did on PowerShell? That only affects the Hi-Fi cable and does not affect anything on your PC. So when you uninstall the Hi-Fi cable, that is gone. Before you uninstall, I just want y'all to understand, if in COD you choose Voice Meter input as the output device, as the game sound device, it will output normal sound and will bypass the tune entirely. So if you wanted to just go back to stock audio and see how bad it was before doing all the work again, I highly recommend doing that. Another thing I wasn't very clear on that I find myself doing in appointments now all the time is the in-game preset. I recommended Cinema in some of the previous guides. That should be only for high-quality earbuds. For me, I got a set of Sennheiser HD490s to test at Fresh Review's recommendation, and I did not like Cinema at all on that nice headset. I switched to headphones, and it sounded much more similar to what I had expected to sound like on my IEMs. So I'll say here in this video, if you're on a headset, like an over-the-ear headset, you should at least run headphones, maybe PC speaker if you're a little harder of hearing. If you're on IEMs and they're nice IEMs, try Cinema. If they're on the cheaper side, maybe home theater. Something I didn't mention that got added during Season 3, a lot of people have pointed out, is this speaker output and test menu. As you can see in here, there's a bunch of different options: stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 7.1.4. You can choose Windows default, you can choose your device, so on and so forth. This has absolutely nothing to do with settings. What this is set to does not affect your output in-game at all. This is simply a place for you to test your speakers. And this is a great place for y'all to see how my audio tune works. So install the tune, make your page look like this, and then go around and click each of these different speakers and watch how they kind of move around your head. Copy that pattern I just did, and it should be kind of trippy. This is a great proof of concept that shows you just how well 7.1 is integrated into the game, and it also shows you how bad the game does a job of mapping all of the sound that's available out to stereo. Also, it shows here 7.1.4. That's not something that I'm aware of. I'm able to take advantage of. If somebody can think of a different way of doing this virtually, let me know in the comments down below. but this is like a truer theater experience where some of those extra channels are your vertical channels, specifically in Atmos. So in theory, this is in the game. How we kind of coax that out of the game, I don't know. The other big thing that's gonna make me go mad and feels like water torture is everyone comes into my chat, comments down below, messages me on Instagram, on Twitter. I am getting messaged on social platforms I don't even know I could get messaged on. They're saying, why are the streets loud? Why are the boxes loud? The boxes and crates get loud because of how loudness EQ works. It just makes quiet things louder, and the chests are kind of quiet, so they become louder. In my opinion, it's a small price to pay for being able to hear footsteps like you do. Now about streaks. Those are literal warplanes above your head. They are loud, and they are also a full spectrum sound. So there's really, like I said in a previous video, not a whole bunch I can do about that. That being said, I do see a lot of complaints that everything's too loud. The simplest thing you can do is turn down your volume. And you can turn down your master volume, not your effects volume, master volume in game, as low as you need to. I've had people in meetings need it at 2. That's fine. You just need the crates to not be super loud. That should be your barometer. You should not be setting your volume to your gunshots, because how the tune works makes the gunshots super quiet. Speaking of making your gun quieter, a lot of content creators that upload to YouTube don't like the sound of that 7 front channel that makes your guns super quiet. You're still going to be at a huge advantage using the 7.1 mix because of how many more cues you hear, even if you run the channel as high as 90. I know a lot of big creators that use my audio that run the front channel close to 100, and you couldn't tell. All you get are more audio cues. So if you wanted to try something that sounds more normal, go ahead and try any value from say 20 to 100 on that front channel. On the note of volume, I wanted to shout out Jad really quick. He showed me this setting in Voicemeeter. I'll show it on the screen right now. It gives you the option to hook your volume keys or your volume knob on your keyboard to the A1 output in Voicemeeter. And what that is the master output. That is the volume of both ArtTune and Voicemeeter going to that output, so it's essentially the volume on your headphones. So if you've been bummed out that since you've used the tune, you can't use the volume buttons on your keyboard or the volume dial on your keyboard, try this setting out. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you out. Once again, shout out Jad. I'll link his Twitch down below. Now the part you're probably all waiting for, settings. I wanted to take a second and talk about this because I think the format that I've done in the past has confused people. In the past, for simplicity's sake, I've named settings after the season they were released, so I could keep track of who had what settings and what settings on my end were what. And what has kind of happened as I learn more about how to create this tune, because this system, as far as I know, no one has ever really implemented before, so I've learned a lot as we've gone along, and I've just named those things after the seasons. Every season is not going to have an EQable or tunable element to change. What it will do is get better and better and better, because my system is a virtual surround sound system. That is the core of it. That's what makes it so easy to hear where people are. From there, how game sound changes down the line will influence if I change an EQ. So when we got Fortune's Keep, I made an adjustment for the ocean sounds. If there are no major sound changes in the way sound is made in the game, then I won't release settings, and that's where we're at right now. Basically, if you're running the 42-minute guide and the following 20-minute guide, I'll show the thumbnails on the screen here so they're easy to find, you are going to be on the most up-to-date settings. I highly recommend also checking out my headset video and my IEM video here so you can get off that terrible gamer headset you're listening to this video on. I'm just going to show a few short samples of my gameplay. It's nothing amazing, but just so you guys can hear how the tune now sounds on Rebirth. If you were on the offense about doing it, it is way better now. I got specialist.
Enemy soldier incoming. Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Go get hunting.
Lo sé. ¡Ay, a la verga! Bájate, Inferno. Ya perdimos.
We located the rest of them. on your tac map.
Hop in it.
I'm getting high alerted from our teammates' side.
Eyeballs.
Can do the window jump inside. This
We gotta just go down. We should get ahead of all these guys.
Moving.
I brought marshmallows. What did you bring?
I was about to say, who the is talking?
Gas is moving.
They lower?
Yeah, it's like extra. Yeah, I think they're one more floor lower in the window. Yeah, this extra like zone movement is actually sick.
All under me.
Under us, could come stairs.
I got PA, careful.
I'm getting high alerted from your way.
My way?
Be under,
Right there.
could be, or it could be like down here.
Right underneath my side. A corner of the roof is still in. How is there 4 other teams? 2 guys down low in the bottom basement window. Can I look that from your side?
Cover me from that guy.
Yeah, you're good, you're good. They haven't jumped out yet.
Under me, Jesse.
Yeah, hold on.
Still more guys in gas. What the was that? He's still in gas, careful. I don't know how the just sitting in gas and living. Another one underneath. 20.
Inside the wall, inside the wall.
Underneath on your wall. Me, dude. Good.
I realize it's kind of a bummer not to get any new settings, but a big thing is if it's not broke, don't fix it. And these audio settings worked fantastic. I spent 13 hours on release day, one of the sweatiest days you can play, getting my 33-year-old ass crapped on by people way younger and way sweatier than me. And guess what? I could hear it the whole time. It was great. But in all seriousness, I'm not a snake oil salesman. I'm not here to make changes just to get more views or to get people into the appointments. If you are running those 2 videos I mentioned, you are up to date. And until something changes, that's going to be great. I think, in my opinion, the next big change is going to come with the next title. We're going to take this 7.1 system and we're going to have to modify it heavily for that game. Now, that being said, I do have some stuff in the lab that I'm very excited to share with y'all that's going to make switchable presets much, much easier. But we are going to save that for the next game because of how little changes have happened in audio. Make sure you guys are liking this video, subscribe and click the bell so you know when I upload the next one. The next one is about a piece of technology that is going to revolutionize the feeling of input for PC controller players. And I am so excited to share it with you guys. I'm actually rushing through making this video because there were no changes, just so I can start working on that video. We're gonna have input delay tests, real science backed up by True Game Data himself, giving me solid advice on how to test it. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on to see that. I also live a lot over on Twitch, twitch.tv/art_is_war. That's where I do all the giveaways. And in the next video, when we talk about that tech, I will be giving away that tech. So make sure you're following over there too. Until the next video, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.